Hi, everyone. I'm Frank Malakut. I'm a news anchor and a reporter for KTVU Fox 2 here in the San Francisco Bay Area. My guest today is Dr. Stacy Borland. She's a psychologist. She's also the chief psychology officer for a dating website called NewMate. Talk about dating in our new COVID-19 world. Good to have you with us, Doctor. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to be here. Thanks so much, Frank, for having me.
Pleasure to have you. Well, let's talk about NewMate. You're based there in Houston. Talk about your website and what you folks do.
We are a fully robust website that works on all platforms, PCs, mobile phones, and tablets that provides an environment for adult singles to get together and either individually date or meet in other individuals or meet others in a group setting. We have a new unique feature called NewMate Groups. The groups are kind of a replacement for, they were not developed in reaction to the pandemic, but they were developed to work synergistically with group encounters in the real world, such as meeting at a happy hour or talking around the water cooler at work. But now that that's been taken away from us right now, our group chats are an especially important place for singles to be able to get together and chat. Currently, my favorite group is something called Homeschoolers Unite. If you look behind me, you might be able to see the picture of my twin boys.
Parents, by the way?
Pardon?
Are these the parents or the teachers that are uniting?
It's for the parents. Okay. Teachers, definitely. Our groups are started by our members, so teachers could definitely start a teachers group if they wanted to. But this particular one is for the parents, and I can tell you from personal experience, after coming home from finishing a long day of homeschooling on top of all my other responsibilities, it's wonderful to have a relaxed environment where I can just check in, talk to other parents. It's not all the pressure of going on a virtual date. It's just a nice place where I can chat with other people of similar interests or having similar experiences. And then if attraction naturally develops between another person during the group conversation, then I might want to take it one-on-one.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I would think a platform like yours and maybe some of the other dating platforms are popular now because you can't go to a bar, you can't go to a concert. It's not like you're going to bump into your soulmate out there. So now you got to kind of reach out virtually. I imagine you guys are busy.
You got that right. You are exactly right, Frank. Our usership has skyrocketed in the last month. Since we're pretty much the only option now. Exactly, like you said.
And a lot of us have been doing it anyways. I've got old college buds. I'm in a book club with a bunch of old guys, and my other half has sorority sisters from years gone by, and they get in at Zoom chats and pick up their phone and do FaceTime chats.
Exactly.
It's really become kind of a trendy thing now, just to break out and socialize.
My colleagues and I actually have had a couple virtual happy hours. Yes.
Yeah.
But the difference here is that all these things you and I have described have been with just friends,
right?
Not people we would potentially date, and that's the difference with NewMate. It's a place that friendships can form, but it is a dating website. So it's also a place where people can meet other singles that they might be interested in having a romantic relationship with.
So are there different groups, say if you have an interest in this or an interest in that, you check in and 20 people might be in the room, and you just start, hey, you know what, I did that 20 years ago and blah, 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 that kind of thing?
Exactly. Some of the groups we have are local sports teams, fans of sports teams, wine lovers, karaoke group, travelers. So exactly, the groups are formed, and you can join as many groups as you want. You can list groups as your favorite. You can go into any group you want, but they are around topics of common interest.
And if you find someone that you may be attracted to or you have common interest, you
Mhm.
can send them a note or something, and that
Exactly.
gets you to maybe a one-on-one where you can, hey, I think you're cool.
You got it exactly right. You got it exactly right. And this, again, in the natural world before coronavirus, this happened naturally. You'd be at a bar, happy hour. You kind of get talking to somebody, find out you have something in common. It's real low pressure there. And then if you like each other, then you take it maybe on a date. Same phenomenon exactly, just being done online.
And it might be a little more real, I think, because if you're doing that, not everyone that goes to a bar wants to meet someone. Not everyone that goes on a road trip, and maybe they're doing whatever. But
Yes.
if you're
Yes.
on a site like this where you want to, hey, I'm kind of open to chit chatting,
Mhm.
and hopefully I can meet somebody. Can you meet your soulmate that way, you think?
I think you can. In fact, I think new mate out of all the dating websites, our site is probably the most likely one where you would meet your soulmate, because we have always felt like dating should move slowly. And a lot of the other apps that have come around have been really quick and not really conducive to long-term relationships.
Mhm.
And our site was developed from the beginning for people to take things slowly, to let attraction form naturally and gradually, and based on more than just a photo.
Yeah.
And group conversation is a great way that you can see how another person talks and learn a lot more about them than you can get from just a photo.
So we're talking substance, not just oh wow, she's cute or he's handsome.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Very good. Um, well, as we move along here,
Mhm.
what we'll talk about, just you're a psychologist,
Mhm.
and I'm just curious, are are human beings maybe the most social of the creatures on the planet? I mean,
We're
more than
definitely
anything else?
we're definitely in the running for it. Yes. We are very social creatures. We do not do well in isolation. We need each other. Other animals, in fact, I went to Africa last October. Lions are social animals. They work together and plan a hunt. We are the ultimate in social. We build cities. We on our own, we are nothing. If you propped me in the middle of the jungle by myself, I'd be dead. So we need each other. We want to interact with each other. You are exactly right. We are the most social animal there is.
So,
Yes.
what advice would you give folks out there that are, especially seniors, that may not have a lot of company anyways, and now you throw an extra layer of isolation on top of this, where
Yes.
Meals on Wheels isn't even coming by anymore. What do you recommend to people out there that are feeling a little
Yeah.
lonely, I guess?
I would say try to find your 10-year-old grandson who's really tech savvy
Get on
and
Zoom.
have him get you on your computer and find a group format that you can socialize online. And you mentioned, Zoom meetings work well. Um, FaceTiming with other people. But if you are also interested in possibly a romantic relationship, then you can join NewMate.
Well, dating aside, how about just folks that are, I mean, if you got no one
Shut
to
in.
talk to, yeah, just people in general
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that you might want to reach out to.
Hmm.
I've made it a point, I know in my life, yeah, I'm not reaching out to all seniors, but I try to call someone or get in contact with someone that maybe I
Okay.
haven't talked to in moons or years or whatever. Just say,
Yeah.
hey, send a simple text just
Okay.
to make you day.
I have to say I misunderstood your question.
No, that was fine, but I've been maybe
I
taking
thought you were asking what the senior should do. I
no.
absolutely think that we need to be taking care of our seniors. My mother's 81. I've been going to her house almost every day since this thing started.
Right.
Absolutely. This is a time, if like never before, that if you know a senior or someone who's shut in your life, absolutely reach out to that person.
Yeah. What do you think dating's going to be like in another couple of years?
I think it will be even more online than it already has been.
Yeah.
But I also think that it will be slower than it has been, having been online. We've shifted really to this quick hookup culture. And I think we've already started to see a backlash to that. And I think COVID-19 has kind of accelerated the backlash. I think it's going to shift back to a more courtly approach than it has been lately. One of the unique things that we have about NewMate is the NewMate token, and you can gift this to another person, which is like buying them a drink in a bar. I think I see chivalry kind of making a comeback.
And that's not so bad.
It is not so bad. I like to have the door held open for me.
Right.
I may be old fashioned, but I like to be treated like a lady.
Well, I think old school is a good school for all of us to follow. And I think you're right. I think things are going to slow down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people are, since we're kind of all getting back to the basics, you're home, you know, you can't socialize. It's about friends and family and about your health.
Yes.
It's about as basic as you get. So when you start bringing other people into your family, they're going to, you know, have to go through the test, so to speak, I guess now, don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you're right. We're learning about our core values. And I think we're going to be more aware when we meet new people about whether they share our core values.
Yeah. I think an authenticity.
Keeping it real. Yep.
As opposed to swiping, going, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever that.
Well, another thing that is very inauthentic about swiping is the way it works is if you swipe left, it's like you erase the other person from your universe. That doesn't happen in real life. That's a very unnatural, inauthentic environment. And one of the ways that NewMate was created was to replicate real world dynamics as accurately as possible. Mm-hmm. So, you know, to make it authentic, to make this like meeting at a bar or a yoga class, except doing it online.
Yeah. Can you talk about Texas? I know you're based in the Houston area. We hear a lot about New York and parts of Florida and Michigan, and we're here in California. What's it like in the greater Houston and Texas as well in terms of dealing with COVID-19?
We have a very low death rate. We have a pretty low sickness rate. The way measures are right now being taken to deal with it, the schools are closed for the rest of the school year, so I'm going to be homeschooling for the rest of the school year, which is driving me crazy. But schools are closed the rest of the school year. We're just starting to reopen with restaurants. They've been open for drive-through and takeout throughout this whole thing. But I think starting on Friday, which is May 1st, the restaurants are going to be allowed to go to like 25% capacity or something. So I think our curve of the virus has flattened out, and it hasn't been that not nearly as bad as New York all along.
Right. And
we're starting to move back toward getting our lives going again.
And how about a piece of advice we'll put on your psychologist hat here?
Okay.
You're a mom.
Yeah.
I assume those are your two kids in the photos behind you.
They are.
What do you tell your kids, especially younger kids that might be afraid? They're wearing masks. Maybe they don't understand. Maybe it's more the teenagers that are affected, that are bummed out because they can't finish their senior year. They're not going to prom. They're not doing what they normally should be doing. As a mom and a psychologist, what do you say to those kids?
Well, I'm a cognitive behavioral psychologist, and cognitive behavioral psychologists are all about data, really looking at reality. And I tell them, you're hearing lots of scary news flashes, but really look at what's going on. Find out for yourself. For example, I just said Texas isn't that bad. That's because I've really dug in and listened to it. I'm not just hearing the death toll every day. So I would honestly say, find out for yourself how much risk you really are at. New York is worse than Texas, you know, and it's being painted like this thing that's out to get us all and we're all going to die. And that's not true. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely. Absolutely. If folks want to get connected with NewMate, how do they?
Mhm. They go to our website, newmate.com, and it is actually spelled NEUMATE.com. It's free to join. It's free to create a profile, and we are actually offering a free 1-month subscription, so people can come and try it out and see if they like it for the first month. People tend to be single for long stretches. We anticipate many people will, after that first free month, want to continue.
Well, very good. Well, Dr. Stacy Borland, want to thank you for joining us. Wish you all the best with your practice and with NewMate as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me, Frank.
All right, Stacy. Doctor, stay safe and stay healthy. I'm Frank Malakote here in the San Francisco Bay Area. We'll send it back to you.